Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade.
Welcome to the Unfiltered by Jade, where we educate, empower, and entertain. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, download, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget.
Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here Lorenzo Williams, and we are here to speak about how the environment affects our health. And this is going to be such a good episode because we really do need to look into what's in the environment and how it's affecting us negatively or positively. So before we even get into it, Lorenzo is a nutrition advocate, a natural health advocate, and the co-owner of Journey to a Better Health. So hi Lorenzo, nice to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
No problem. So, we did a little talk even before this recording, but I want to get into it with you. What are some of the biggest environmental factors contributing to chronic health illnesses today?
There's a lot of things going on in the environment. It's the air that we breathe. It's the foods that we eat. The environment of stress. We have several different environmental issues that can cause one to be ill. We have so much pollution in the environment and also in the foods and different things that we participate in that can cause one to become very sick.
Right.
Yes. And so we can get into some of those things, but there's several different things in the environment that can cause us to become ill. But some of the main things is food, stress, in the air that we are ingesting, and even some of the products that we're using on our bodies as we cleanse ourselves and take wash ourselves and all of that. Those are environmental things because we have to understand that even our pores ingest whatever's in the environment. And a lot of times we don't even clean our pores the right way with the things that we put on our bodies and that we put on our clothes and all of that.
Um, that's interesting. That you even mentioned the things that we even put on our bodies. Not even inside, but even outside what we use. That's quite interesting. We probably can get into some of those things because sometimes people don't know, right?
Absolutely.
What are the health risks associated with climate change?
Well, I mean, there's so many different things that's happening in the climate because of the way that our system is being polluted. I mean, it's affecting us in so many different ways. I just want to use like for instance, the COVID situation that we had taking place. That is one of the things that you would call airborne
Yes.
airborne environmental ailment. Well, one of the things is if your body is if you don't have the nutrients and you don't have your cells are not where they need to be, those are the type of things that can cause you more sickness in your body,
Yes.
being affected by those type of things.
Interesting. I want us to go back to even the things that we use on our body. What are some of the things that we're using on our bodies that is actually causing more problems?
Well, the soaps that we use, a lot of those soaps that we use, they have a lot of unnatural things inside of them. Like, for instance, at Journey to a Better Health, we created some of our own soaps because we realize that a lot of the soaps and lotions and even the down to the what you put on your clothes, what you're washing your clothes with,
Yes.
a lot of those things have very bad things inside of them. So we focus on putting those more natural things inside of the body or even on the body so that you won't have those type of issues. There's a lot of unnatural stuff that we've been using for years. I don't want to say any names because I don't want to come against any specific type of formulas that's being used, but you need to pay attention to what's going on in your bodies. Like, for instance, we have a soap, and we like to use things that's closer to what's good, what feeds your pores. Like we use like coconut, and we use olive and palm. We use natural essential oils in our soaps so that we know that our pores are getting what they need, like rosemary, lavender, and things of that type of nature. Because there's so much stuff that you put on your body, and it's just unhealthy for it.
I agree with you on that. Noise pollution. A lot of people will really consider noise pollution something that affects our health. Can you tell us how this impacts stress levels and our mental health?
Well, we just got to think about just the day to day life. We got something called mental health, right? We all have mental health, right? Uh, Environmental things that's right around you, like the stress that you're dealing with. You have to like if you look up the definition of your white blood cells, it says that it's your warring soldiers. Well, if your white blood cells don't have the things that they need, then they can't fight like they need to. Like we got air pollution, tiny particles from car exhaust, factories, fire. Those things get deep into our lungs. Secondhand smoke. Like secondhand smoke, a lot of people don't even realize that, but it causes cancer,
Yes,
causes
it
heart
does.
disease.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with a lot of mold and just so many different fibers that's in the air. And so that's why it's so important that we feed our cells what it needs so that it can war against those things. And we have to be careful, like for instance, when we talk about what we put on our pores, because if we clog our pores up with the wrong thing, then we can't fight properly.
Yes.
We have so many pesticides that's out here, non-organic produce. Those things are linked to cancers, and it breaks down your nervous system. It's so many different areas. If you're not even drinking the right waters, like for instance, one of the things that we focus on is alkalinity. Well, your body's made of alkalinity. As a matter of fact, your body's made of about 70% alkalinity. So you really should be drinking and drinking waters that have alkalinity inside of it. Stay away from acidic waters. Where there's a lot of water that we drink, like we test our water. There's a lot of water that we drink that's acidic, even down to the water that you take a shower in. Does that make
That's,
sense?
that's interesting. That's very much interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You got chlorine and all of these different things that's inside of the tap water. May be harmful to the body. So when you take a shower, if you're taking shower in bad water, that's what's going inside of your cells. That's why a lot of people get systems inside of their home so that they can get the right waters that they need and put it on their body. We have to become conscious of these things, and we're just not educated. We're not conscious. These are the things the average person is so stressed out by just trying to take care of their bills until we don't really even have time to focus on the things that we should be focused on.
True.
You know, if you don't have your basic needs, then you don't even think about the higher needs if you don't even have your basic needs. And then that not to add insult to injury, we got industrial environmental hazards. You got what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
metals, heavy metals that's in the air. We got radiation that's floating from the foams and batteries and diesel exhaust and all of these different things that come from the truck. All of that stuff can break down the human body. Heavy metals and mercury and all of that different stuff. It breaks down, it damages kidneys and it does damage to the brain and it messes with the nervous system. We got a lot of environmental stuff that's going on. If you've been paying attention to the younger people, they for some reason, if you're paying attention, it's more than just the drugs. We got these young people, they're doing drugs, they're doing, I mean, we've had drugs forever, in the earlier years in the 70s and the 90s. Of course, cocaine has been around. But now you got the young people now, we're talking about environmental breakdowns. So we got the young people now, they're taking prescribed medicines like Percocets, and they're drinking syrup. And these kids are doing all this and they're not getting any nutrients. So if you're not getting any nutrients, then your brain doesn't work properly. So
Yes.
we got a lot of young people right now that's losing their mind because they're getting no nutrients. They don't
Hey.
drink water. They're not getting any nutrients in their body. So they're breaking down right in front of us. We do have an epidemic, and it's all environmental. It's all mental health, and mental health is also environmental.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And so people say, well, what is the solution to all of this? I mean, me and my wife have been doing a lot of studying, and as many might not know, I'm a 4-time cancer survivor. In 2018, I was given 3 months to live. We turned down all traditional medicine because they told me there was no options for me, and we won. Here I am 8 years later. You got what I'm saying? And then I just had another situation that I'm battling because of earlier years of radiation. I'm talking about, we need to talk about all of these different things. Not to, one of the things that my wife and I, the name of our organization is obviously Journey to a Better Health. And one of the things that we do not do, we do not come against doctors because you also need the doctor, right? Because there's a place for the doctor. But we have to understand the doctor has a title, and the doctor's title is a licensed practitioner, which lets you know that they're practicing.
Yes.
Okay? So,
Yes.
but although we need them, we don't come against them. We need to understand that there's a lot of things that we need to educate ourselves on so that we can feed ourselves. So although years ago I had radiation treatment, I've been battling cancer since I was 17 years old, and I'm now 55. I'm still here. I'm still standing. And if one goes to my website in the end, you'll be able to see how strong me and my wife's testimony is. But what people don't understand is even with the chemotherapy that people get when they get sicknesses. Well, chemotherapy is one of those environmental medicines, right? That goes into, so you got to understand when we begin to talk about environmental, you have to understand what's inside of you is also environmental. Your cells, your makeup, your DNA, these are all affected by the environment, right? And so if a person gets diagnosed with cancer, and they go and get chemotherapy, when the chemotherapy goes inside of the body, the chemotherapy destroys all of the bad cells, but it also destroys your good cells.
Yes.
Radiation goes in and you get radiation. I got radiation at 17 years old, right? And so they took my spleen, which made me weaker to the environment. They gave me radiation to my chest. Well, what people don't know is the radiation never stops working. So the radiation continued to work in my body, and I got the radiation at 17 going on 18. Well, the radiation destroyed my thyroid in my 30s.
Mercy.
And right, so it took my thyroid out, which broke down my immune
Immune system.
more, which made me more subject to the environmental pestilence that we have in our world. And then in 2018, I ended up with a bladder cancer, a rare bladder cancer that they had no case study on.
Mercy.
They wanted to take my bladder from me. And I said, no. We went and got a second opinion, went to the Mayo Clinic. After we got to the Mayo Clinic said that they can take out 10% of my bladder and save my prostate. They took out 20% of my bladder, and then they took all 22 lymph nodes, which is a part of your lymphatic system that fights off infection, which
Jesus.
which helps you fight against the environment. Your
Mm.
lymphatic system is your drainage system that takes all of the waste from the environment and the other areas that you deal with, and it drains it off of your body. Well, I'm lacking my lymphatic system. Well, now that they took 22 lymph nodes from there, so then I only ended up with about, I believe about 55% of 50% of my immune system after they were done with me.
Mercy.
Well, 2 months later, after they did the surgery, the cancer came back, spread into my stomach and in my rib cage, and the doctor walked in the office and told me, "Get your affairs in order because I have to tell you." legally that you have 3 to 6 months to live, but I don't believe you'll make it past 3 years. They told me to go into hospice, and my wife and I denied hospice, and we went on a journey, and we fought naturally. And that's why my story is as big as it is, because we took a natural approach, fought naturally, and the cancer began to reverse itself. And that's how I ended up where I am today in terms of our story. Out of that, my wife and I created about 15 different products that focuses on feeding the immune system what it needs. And if you hear me coughing, it's because I just the radiation, that same radiation treatment that I had when I was a younger man, that same radiation treatment created its own DNA from the scar tissue that I had from the radiation treatment. Here in 2025, about 5 or 6 months ago, that DNA created its own DNA inside of my lungs and created a rare lung cancer. And I had to have here where I live at in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The doctors didn't want to touch me, so we went back to the Mayo Clinic, and they said that they could get to the cancer. So now they had to cut out 30% of my lung, which just happened, and I'm recovering from that. But it all came from not me taking the right nutrients, because if I hadn't, the doctor told me and my wife that if they don't know why I ended up with these different cancers over the years, but if I had not been doing what I'm doing, I wouldn't be here, because the average person doesn't survive what I've been through. So you still, even if you go and get chemo or you go and get radiation, if you decide to do those things, because it's your decision. Sometimes, you might get sick, or you might get a cancer, or you might get something, and you might not have a choice but to get it out of you. You may not have a choice but to do the surgery. But even after that, because of environmental reasons, you still have to have the nutrients inside of your body so that your body can fight back. We have so many different issues. We have one of the biggest things that people need to watch out for, even in their foods. We have so much artificial stuff that is against the body,
Yes.
food contaminants and additives. I mean, high fructose corn syrup. I
Yes.
mean, this is killing people.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's linked to obesity, diabetes, and inflammation. I'm going to tell you another thing. One of the things that we really, really have to be careful of, they told us that we need protein, right? So we need to eat the meat. We have to have the meat for protein, the cow. Well, the animal that we eat the most doesn't even eat meat. It doesn't
Mm.
eat meat. The cow doesn't eat meat. It has 7 stomachs. We drink the cow's milk, which causes inflammation in our body, and mucus. Sickness and disease comes from inflammation and mucus in the body.
Yes.
That's where it comes from. So if you're telling me that I need to eat meat from a cow who does not eat meat, well, my question is always, well, where does the cow get its protein from? Because it doesn't eat meat. And if we were to take the time out to study the animals, the strongest animals in the world don't even consume meat. Gorillas, elephants, the main strongest animals in the world, they don't even eat meat. They eat fruit and vegetables. So we cleanse regularly, and we're getting ready to do a cleanse now, because right now, because of the earlier years of radiation that I had, my lung doesn't want to stick to the wall, so I keep getting fluid in between my lungs. So right now, as we speak, I have to drain myself every other day, because my body's not retaining the fluid properly. Because remember, I'm lacking my lymphatic system, and I'm lacking my immune system, so my body's not functioning properly. So what do I have to do? I have to consecrate my body. I have to completely cleanse my body. I have to reset my body so that my body can fight back the way it needs to. So that's the mission that we're on right now, which is the same thing I did when I was given 3 months to live.
This is heavy. This is heavy, Lorenzo.
Yes, yes. People are dying all around us. If you're paying attention, it doesn't make a difference what state you live in. People are dying from cancers, and they're dying from obesity. They're dying from diabetes, kidney failure. Well, it's all because they're not getting the right nutrients inside of their system that's allowing their systems to fight back properly. And we're killing ourselves with the foods that we're eating. You're driving down the street, and you're seeing more and more young people on the corners talking to themselves.
Yeah.
This is all systematic, guys. This is all systematic. This is all planned. The very savages that we've seen over the years, we are becoming those savages. It's because we're not getting the right things that we need in our body.
For persons who don't know what steps to take to reduce all these risks that you're talking about, what steps do we need to take?
Well, first thing that we always tell people to do, you have to go and get that's why we need the doctor. You have to go and get yourself checked. We can no longer just sit around and ignore. Your body is always communicating with you, and your body's always warning you. That's one thing that we can depend on about our body. We have to understand that. I want to say this, and then I'll answer your question directly. We need to understand that our body, there is more going on the inside of your body with your cells working 24 hours a day. You have your red cells, you have your white cells, you have a whole world going on the inside of you. And there's more going on the inside of you than what's going on the outside of you. And we're more concerned about what's happening on the outside of us than we are what's happening on the inside. And we're concerned about our bills, and we're concerned about relationships, and we're concerned about Facebook and all of these different things that's outside of us when we should be more concerned about what's going on the inside of us. So the first place that we need to start with is we need to go and find out, get a full metabolic blood panel so that your blood can be read, so you can know it where you're deficient at inside of your body. And then after then, you have to cleanse your body. You have to. Most of us have went most of our lives and we've never even done a real, well, we got religious understanding of what causes fast. But when you talk about a fast is mentally, spiritually, and physically. We have to cleanse ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Mentally, you have to step away from the things that you allow to go into your ear gates and what you've been seeing. Physically, you have to begin to work on your body and give your body what it needs so it can have the strength that it needs to fight back. And then physically, you have to put inside of your body, on your body, what it needs to fight back. So you have to cleanse your body. And if most of us, even those at the ear that's listening to this, if we were to be honest, most of us have never really done a true cleanse to our body.
True.
And the reason why I understand this now is because I had no choice but to cleanse my body after being given just 3 months to live. There was cancer inside of me that was trying to eat me up, and we began our process, and it began to reverse itself. We're gonna fix the situation that I've got going again. You have the ability, if I don't know how many believers it is, and whatever it is you believe, but let's just call it the enemy. And if the enemy has something that can destroy you, surely the creator got something naturally that can fix you.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
And we need to understand that. We have people that say that they have faith. Well, faith without works is
It's
dead.
dead.
All right, you have to do the work. And so I admonish people to follow us, to see what we got going on, to watch my journey. I share my journey even on my personal page at Lorenzo Williams at Facebook. I share my journey. You can see me with fluid coming out of my body after major surgeries. Since May 20th, I had 9 surgeries since May 20th. And I'm up. I just got through riding my bike the other day with my children. I'm moving around. I'm encouraged. I refuse to have an attitude of defeat. See, if your mind accepts defeat, then your body's going to line up with that.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Oof.
we got different categories. Just to touch base. We got different categories of when we deal with environmental factors, right? So we need to understand what those factors are. You have air, you have water, you have food, you have products, and you also have your surroundings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
You got
agree
what I'm
with you on
saying?
that.
A lot of us get stressed out and we get sick because of relationships.
Hey,
Because we just can't let go. If you and I are holding hands and we're walking, we can get to our destination together. But if you lay down and I gotta drag you, by the time I get where I'm going, I'm too tired to fight
mercy.
because I'm dragging you along. Yeah, yeah. We got,
Oof.
we got a serious situation. And nutrition can solve a lot of different problems in a lot of different areas. The right nutrients to the body can begin to reverse a lot of the things that we have going on. So we help people all over the country with health and nutrition, nutrients, what they need. Everybody's body is different. Right now, when I had bladder cancer, the focus was the bladder. When the cancer spread it into a different area, we focused on that. Now I have a lung situation. Our focus for nutrition is lung care. You have to focus on whatever area you're dealing with. You got arthritis, diabetes, kidney issues. You have to focus on nutrients that begin to restore those areas in your body. And most of it is from inflammation and mucus to the body.
Yes, you gave us a lot to think about. Trust me, you gave me a lot to think about, Lorenzo, because you're absolutely right. We have to take better care of ourselves. God has given us the tools, and we need to use the tools that He has given us. Research. Instead of us saying, we don't know, we can always research. Take the time. It's imperative. It's important. Take the time to research and get to know, why are we having these body issues? Get to the bottom of it instead of always popping pills. And I'm not saying, as I said, I'm not against going to the doctor. But how else can we manage? We need to exercise. Apart from exercising, how do we need to eat? So these are things that we need to look into to get the proper care that we need to, so that we can avoid some of these health issues. I mean, we have to start. I want you, Lorenzo, though. I want you to let people know, where is it that they can find you? Where can they get some more information on you if they want to start on this journey to better health? How can they reach you and your wife?
Well, once again, the name of our organization is Journey, the number two, abetterhealth.com. That is our website, and that is the name of our organization. You can go to our website, and all of our social media is there. You can see some podcasts that we have there. You can begin following us there if you like to. On a personal side, well, I'll just repeat it again: Journey, the number two, abetterhealth.com. That's our website. That's where you can find us. You can see our products there that we've created to help people around the country. One of our biggest sellers, we're really big on tea, because it has a lot of herbs in it, and it helps feed your cells. And so we focus on tea. We focus on all of that different stuff. And if you want to just personally see me, we do have a journey to a better health on Facebook, but my personal page is Lorenzo Williams. That is my name. I have a lot of stuff there. We're in the midst of switching some things around, but a lot of the seeing what I've been through, you can see right there on my page here recently. I just wanted to touch on real quick, if I can, some of the key environmental problems associated with drugs.
Go ahead.
We have environmental problems that's caused by drugs. We have the pharmaceutical pollution in the waterways. There's unflushed medications that people haven't gotten rid of properly in the pharmaceutical arena that affects our lakes and our waters. There's so many different things. There's drug manufacturing waste. There's all type of different scenarios. You got young people taking drugs that's not even prescribed to them, that people are getting, and they're giving it to the young people. The doctors are giving people, they're going in there, they're playing crazy, and they're giving them fentanyl. When I had cancer, when they gave me medication, they was putting fentanyl patches on me. And these fentanyl patches was releasing medicines at certain times on its own in my body.
Mm.
And I didn't even realize until I got home from the hospital and I had that stuff taken off of me. There's so many different areas that we need to be aware of, and we need to spend more time educating ourselves on those type of things than the things that we're worried about.
Yeah, these are really some heavy things. Yeah, and I'm praying that people will even listen to what you're saying, take the advice, and run with it. Take the advice and run with it, because we need to, even the young people, we need to help prevent these things from taking place, help prevent these things from happening, and protect ourselves and protect our bodies that God has given us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and even what you're doing is powerful. Just to be a asset to where people can hear these type of stories, like such as mine, and introduce us to people that don't know about these type of things. All I want to let people know before we're done from my side is whatever you're going through, you have to make up your mind that that you're not going to quit. There's a book written about my story, and the name of the book is called Keep Living: Hope When Death Was the Prognosis. And my slogan is keep living no matter what. I don't care what you're going through. I was given 3 months to live. I'm fighting lung cancer. Well, I walked in the store the other day and I saw a guy who had no legs and no arms,
Oof.
grocery shopping by himself.
Oof.
All right. So it's always someone that has it worse than you.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
you be the example of not quitting. And that's what faith is. Faith is faith is continuing on when you cannot see the solution.
Yeah.
And that's who I am. And that's what I do.
Thank you so much, Lorenzo.
Yes.
Thank you so much. As I told you, you have really given me a lot to think about from this podcast episode. So I'm truly thankful. I'm grateful for you even helping through your own experiences. Because sometimes people won't believe until they see or they hear it from someone else who's really going through something. So thank you so much for that. And I want to continue to say thank you so much to my listeners on the Unfiltered by Jade. And we'll be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you.